open letter to the residents of Micalago and the Monaro. Tanya Higgins knew, and she chose to do nothing. To the people of Micelago and the wider Monaro region, for over 3 years, Micalago residents have raised concerns about illegal waste dumping, asbestos contamination, and the destruction of Micalago Road. You have watched as trucks tore through your community, damaging infrastructure, polluting the environment, and putting your health at risk. You have been dismissed, ignored, and in some cases threatened not by rogue developers, but by the very council that is meant to represent you. It is undeniable that Councillor Tanya Higgins knew exactly what was happening, long before recent public pressure forced the issue into the spotlight. On September 2, 2022, Tanya Higgins publicly acknowledged that heavy truck movements were damaging Micalago Road. Quarry trucks were getting bogged and had to be pulled out. Council had been notified and was involved in fixing the damage. She had direct knowledge of the quarry operations at that time. This means that Higgins was fully aware of the scale of this issue long before residents were given a chance to voice their concerns. Yet, despite knowing this, she did not call for a formal review of the quarry's operations, did not warn the community about potential environmental risks, did not push for transparency in the development approval process, did not engage with impacted residents until she was forced to. Instead of using her position to inform, protect, and advocate for the community, she did the opposite. She downplayed the severity of the situation. She protected the operators of the quarry rather than the residents affected by it. She ensured that the council kept critical information hidden from the public. Then, when residents like Matt and his family discovered asbestos contamination and raised the alarm, Tanya Higgins' first response was not to investigate, it was to suppress and intimidate those who spoke out. This is not speculation, this is fact. Online records, public statements, and direct testimonies all confirm that Higgins was aware of the quarry's impact long before the recent involvement of Andrew Thaler or Luke Williamson. She repeatedly failed to inform or consult the community about what was happening. She actively sought to downplay concerns and shift the blame onto others. This is not just a failure of leadership, this is deliberate obstruction. We have seen this before. The Kuma water tank disaster happened over 5 years ago, and many residents still have not been remediated or compensated. The difference in Micalago, the contamination is still happening. With each truckload, each rainfall, the risk increases. Instead of fighting for clean water, responsibility, and transparency, Tanya Higgins has used her position to silence residents, shield council from accountability, and mislead the very people she was elected to serve. This message must be shared. The Micalago Facebook group is not allowing this message to be shared with residents. While this is understandable given Tanya Higgins' history of intimidation, it is morally wrong. Every resident has a right to know the truth. Every family deserves access to clean air and water. We urge you to share this message across the Monaro region, talk to your neighbors, send it to local groups, and spread the word. If you live in Micalago, demand transparency. If you live anywhere in the Monaro, understand that this could have happened to you. Tanya Higgins must answer for this. The community deserves transparency, accountability, and real action before it is too late.